Hey, it's Professor Dave. Let's talk about calorimetry.
He knows a lot about the science stuff. Professor Dave explains.
Different substances absorb heat at different rates due to various structural factors. The heat capacity of a substance is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of that sample by 1 degree Celsius. A variation of this that is more useful for calculations is the specific heat of a substance, which is the energy required to raise 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Heat, temperature, and heat capacity are all related by the following equations. The amount of heat exchange in a reaction is equal to the heat capacity of the substance times the change in temperature for that substance. Or, more practically, the heat exchanged is equal to the specific heat of the substance times the grams of the substance present times the change in temperature. We can use this information to learn about heat transfer using a process called calorimetry. For those of you in an introductory chemistry course, you'll probably do some variation of a coffee cup calorimeter experiment. Let's look at how those work. A coffee cup is a pretty good insulator. That's why we use it for coffee, so that the heat doesn't escape so quickly and the coffee stays hot for longer. This makes it possible to take pretty reasonable data about the temperature change in a cup of water when we add a hot piece of metal. We can measure the temperature change in the water and use that information to calculate the specific heat of the metal. So, let's say you heat up a metal by placing it in boiling water at a known temperature until it is just as hot as the water. Then, with tongs, you place it in a coffee cup containing a known volume of room temperature water with a thermometer. The water in the cup will heat up slightly as the heat from the metal flows into the water, and we can record the resulting temperature change. From there, we just do some math. We use the specific heat equation and plug in the data for the water. The temperature change is what you recorded. The mass of water in grams is equal to the number of milliliters of water. And the specific heat of water is a known value. This allows us to calculate the heat absorbed by the water. Well, the heat absorbed by the water was the heat released by the metal. So we can take that same quantity of heat and plug it into a new equation for the metal. That value goes there. We weighed the metal beforehand, and this time the temperature change of the metal is from the boiling water to the final temperature in the coffee cup. So you can solve for the specific heat of the metal. This is useful for identifying unknown metals if you are given a few different specific heats and asked to decipher which metal you are given. Let's check comprehension. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, and as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.